Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing good. So in last class we were discussing about labor control. I told you labor control doesn't means to cut down the wages of labor. Labor control means to motivate the labor so that their efficiency can be increased. And if their efficiency will increase, the productivity will automatically increase. If we will produce more, we will be able to sell more and our profitability will be more. In labor control, we were discussing about Halsey premium plan, Rowan plan and Barth sharing plan. In Halsey premium plan, the formula to calculate earnings was earnings equal to hours worked into rate per hour plus 50 divided by 100 into time saved into rate per hour. In Rowan system, earnings equals to hours worked into rate per hour plus time saved divided by time allowed into hours worked into rate per hour. And bar sharing plan, the formula was rate per hour into standard hours into hours worked sub square. Chalo. This illustration we have already done. Now let us do this illustration. Calculate the earning of a worker under Rowan system. The relevant data is as below. Time rate per hour 6. Rate per hour is rupees 6. It means the labor is getting rupees 6 for per hour of work. Time allowed is 8. We have allowed them 8 hours to complete a job. We have allowed them 8 hours to complete a job. Time taken, they have taken the time of 6 hours to complete a job. Time saved, they have saved 2 hours. So we have allowed them 8 hours to complete a job, but in reality, they have taken only 6 hours to complete a job. It means they have saved 2 hours. Chali, we have to calculate earnings as per Rowan system. Okay, let us calculate them. Solution. Rowan system. What is the formula of Rowan system? Hours worked into rate per hour. Hours worked into rate per hour plus time saved divided by time allowed into hours worked into rate per hour. Time saved divided by time allowed into hours work into rate per hour. Rowan system. Hours worked. Let us see. Hours worked is 6 hours into rate per hour. Rate per hour is 6. Okay. The time saved is 2 hours divided by time allowed. Time allowed is 8 hours. 8 into hours worked. 6 hours into rate per hour is 6. Earnings. So 6 into 6, 36. plus 2 divided by 8 into 36. 9 plus 36, 45. So earnings is 45. This is how you are going to calculate earnings as per Rowan system. Now, a skilled worker in XYZ Limited is paid a guaranteed wage rate of rupees 30 per hour. बच्चों, in the company XYZ Limited, a skilled worker is paid at the rate 30 per hour. Okay. Standard time per unit for a particular product is 4 hours. Standard time per unit for a product is 4 hours. It means to complete a finished product, to complete one single finished product, it takes 4 hours. P. A machine man has been paid wages under the Rover Incentive Plan and he has earned an effective hourly rate of 37.5 on the manufacture of that particular product. Achu, Mr. P is a machine man. He has been paid under the Rowan Incentive Plan and he has earned an effective hourly rate of 37.5 on the manufacture of that particular product. Actual hour worked is 3 hours. Actual hour worked is 3 hours. ठीक है. You have to calculate his total earning and effective hourly rate put on Halsey system, Rowan system and bar system. Let us calculate this now. Solution. Halsey plan. First of all, we are going to write the formula of Halsey plan. That is hours worked into rate per hour plus 1 upon 2 or 50 upon 100 into time saved into rate per hour. Okay. Hours worked into rate per hour hours worked into rate per hour into 50 upon 100 or 1 by 2, one and the same thing. 50 divided by 100 into 50 divided by 100 into time saved into rate per hour. Time saved into rate per hour. Halsey plan. Hours worked. Actual hours worked is 3 hours. Okay. 3 hours into rate per hour. Rate per hour is 30. Rate per hour is 30 plus 50 divided by 100. 50 divided by 100, that is 0.5 into time saved. So actual time allowed was 4 hours and in actual he has taken 3 hours. So time saved is 1 hour into rate per hour. Rate per hour is 30. Halsey plan. Now 3 into 30, 90 plus 30 into 30 into 1 into 0.50, 15. Earnings will be 105. Earnings as per Halse plan is 105. Okay. Now row 1 plan. Time taken into rate per hour. Time taken into rate per hour. Time taken into rate per hour plus time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into rate per hour. Time saved divided by time allowed plus time saved divided by time allowed into time taken into rate per hour. To row 1 plan. Time taken. Time taken is 3 hours into rate per hour is 30 plus time saved is 1 hour divided by time allowed is 4 hours into time taken is 3 hours into rate per hour is 30. Proven plan. 3 into 30. 3 into 30 is 90 plus 1 divided by 4 into 90. 22.5. Earnings. 90 plus 22.5. 112.5. So earning is 112.5 as per Rowan system. Now Barth system, Barth plan, Barth sharing plan. What is the formula of Barth sharing plan? Rate per hour into standard hour into actual hour. Let us see. Rate per hour into standard hour into hours worked. Rate per hour into standard hour into hours worked. Rate per hour into standard hour into hours worked into standard hours into hours worked. Barth sharing plan. Rate per hour is 30 into standard hours worked. Standard hours worked is Standard R is, I think, 3 into R's worked is, standard R is 4, R's worked is 3. Yes, standard R is 4 and R's worked is 3. 4 into 3 sub square. Barth sharing plan. 30 into 4 into 3 sub square. That is 3.464. Earnings as per Barth sharing plan will be into 30. 104. So earnings as per Barth sharing plan is 104. So bachcho, we have completed this topic of labor cost control. We have learned how to calculate earning as per Barth sharing plan, Halsey premium plan, and Rowan system plan. Now we are going to move ahead towards the next topic, that is overhead control. Now we are going to discuss our new topic, that is overhead control. Overheads. Bachcho, first of all, what is overheads? Bachcho, overheads are the expenditure. Overheads are the expenditure which cannot be traced or identified with a particular cost unit. For example, suppose I am manufacturing tables. In table, I use wood for the tabletop and iron for the legs of the table. Now, wood and iron will be direct expenditure as they can be conveniently traced or identified with a particular cost unit. But bachcho, in the factory in which I am doing the production work, the factory in which I am doing the production work, at the gate of the factory, there is a gatekeeper. At the gate of the factory, there is a gatekeeper. We are paying rupees 15,000 per month to that gatekeeper. Now, that gatekeeper makes the entry of everyone who enters the factory and also makes the entry of everyone who leaves the factory. Now, that gatekeeper is not involved in the production process. That gatekeeper is not directly involved in the production process. So this type of expenditure which cannot be traced or identified with a particular cost unit is known as overhead. Such expenses are incurred for output generally and not for a particular work order. Example, wages paid to watch and ward staff, heating and lighting expenses of factory, etc. Overheads are also very important cost element along with direct materials and direct labor. Often in a manufacturing concern, overheads exceed direct wages or direct material and at times even both put together. On this account, it would be a grave mistake to ignore overheads, either for the purpose of arriving at the cost of a job or a product or for controlling total expenditure. Classification of overhead. Classification of overhead by function. Classification of overhead by function. Factory or manufacturing or production overhead. One and the same thing. Either you can call factory overhead or you can call manufacturing overhead or you can call production overhead. One and the same thing. Manufacturing overhead is the indirect cost incurred for manufacturing or production activity in a factory. Manufacturing overhead includes all expenditure incurred for the procurement of materials to the completion of finished product. Example: stock keeping expenses, repair and maintenance of plant, depreciation of factory building, indirect labor, cost of primary packaging, insurance of plant and machinery, etc. Production overhead include administration costs related to production, factory work or manufacturing. So manufacturing overhead is an indirect, बच्चों overhead is an indirect cost incurred for manufacturing or production activity in a factory. Manufacturing overhead include all the expenses incurred for the procurement of material to the completion of finished product. Office and administrative overhead. Office and administrative overheads are expenditure incurred on all activities relating to general management and administration of an organization. It includes formulating the policy, directing the organization, and controlling the operation of an undertaking which is not related directly to production, selling, distribution, research or development activity or function. Salary paid to office staff, repairs and maintenance of office building, depreciation of office building, postage and stationery, lease rental in case of operating lease, accounts and audit expenses. Selling and distribution expenditure. Selling overhead expenses related to sale of products and include all indirect expenses in sales management for the organization. Distribution overhead cost incurred on making product available for sale in the market. Salesman commission, advertisement cost, sales office expenses, etc., delivery van expenses, transit insurance, warehouse and cold storage expenses, secondary packing expenses, etc. Fixed overhead. These are the costs which are incurred for a period and which cannot be changed with the change in production of units. For example, factory rent. I have taken a factory on rent for 1 lakh rupee. Now, if I am producing one unit, then also I have to pay 1 lakh. If I am producing 100 units, then also I have to pay factory rent 1 lakh. If I am producing 1000 units, then also I have to pay factory rent 1 lakh. Fixed overhead are those expenses which are fixed, which do not change with the change in unit of production. Variable overhead. But variable overhead are those expenses which changes with the change in production unit. For example, I am manufacturing mobile phones. Cost of one battery rupees 100. So if I manufacture one mobile phone, I have to incur cost of battery 100. If I manufacture two mobile phone, I have to incur cost of battery 200. If I want to manufacture 10 mobile phone, I have to incur cost of battery 1000. It means variable overhead are those expenses which changes with a change in unit of production. Semi-variable overhead are those costs which contain some of the fixed part and some part is variable. For example, telephone bill. बच्चों, in landline telephone bill, there is a fixed rental of 500 and rupees 1 for per minute of call. Now, if in a month I did not make any call, I will only get the fixed rental of 500. If in a month I did a call of 1 minute, I will get 500 fixed charge plus rupees 1 for per minute call. If I make two call, I will get rupees 2. I will get the bill of rupees 2. 500 will be fixed. No matter how much calling you are doing, the rental of 500 is fixed. And the remaining part is variable on the basis of the calls, on the number of calls you have made. Indirect material. Material which do not normally form part of the finished product are known as indirect material. The materials which do not form part of finished product are known as indirect material. Stores used for maintaining machines are and building like lubricants, cotton waste, bricks, etc. But so to maintain machines and all, we use blowers, we use oil for oiling and all. So these are materials which do not become part of finished product, but these are indirect material. Stores used by service department like powerhouse, boiler house, canteen, etc. Indirect labor. Labor which cannot be allocated and cannot be apportioned to or absorbed by cost units or cost center is known as indirect labor. Salary paid to foreman and supervisor, salary paid to administration staff, etc. These are indirect labor. Indirect expenses. Expenses other than the direct expense are known as indirect expense that cannot be directly or conveniently and wholly allocated to the cost center. Example, rent and rates and taxes, insurance, depreciation, advertisement expenses, etc. Last, controllable cost. बच्चों, controllable cost are those costs which can be controlled by implementation of appropriate management influence and proper policies. For example, I am manufacturing this calculator. Now to manufacture this calculator, I will be requiring plastic. Right now I am purchasing plastic of ₹100 per kg. But I can control this cost. I can control this cost by making efforts and purchase huge quantity of plastic. Then the cost of plastic will be ₹90 per kg. So the cost of raw material is controllable cost. Those costs which can be controlled by implementation of appropriate managerial influence and proper policies like material cost, wages and salary, power and fuel, etc. Uncontrollable cost. Overhead costs which cannot be controlled by the management. Even after the implementation of appropriate managerial influence and proper policies are known as uncontrollable cost. Overhead costs which cannot be controlled by the management even after the implementation of appropriate managerial influence and proper policies are known as controllable costs. For example, rent, insurance premium. But your rent and insurance premium, no matter whatever you do, you cannot control these costs. These costs are fixed. These cannot be controlled. You have taken a loan of 1 lakh and the interest is 10%. Now you have to pay 10% interest only. You cannot increase or decrease the interest rate. So these are uncontrollable costs. Chaliye. Now let us do some illustrations now. Now we'll do some illustrations. Excel Limited has 3 production department and 4 service department. But there is a company Excel Limited. That company has 3 production department and 4 service department. Expenses of these departments as per primary distribution summary are as follows. Expenses of these departments as per primary distribution summary are as follows. Production department expenses A, B, C. In production department A, the expense is of 30,000. In production department B, the expense is of 26,000. In production department C, the expense is of rupees 24,000. Total expenses of A, B, C department is 80,000. Service department. In service department, expenses of store is 4,000. Timekeeping and accounts 3,000. Power 1,600. Canteen 1,000. Total 9,600. The following information is also available in respect of the production departments. Okay. Department A, B, C. Horsepower of machine 300 MA. In B 300, in C 200. Number of worker in department A 20. In department B 15. In department C 15. Value of stores requisition in Department A 2,500, in Department B 1,500, in Department C 1,000. Apportion the cost of service departments over the production department. You have to apportion, it means you have to distribute the cost of service department. You have to distribute the cost of service department over production department. So the cost of service department is stores, timekeeping and accounts, power and canteen. These expenses you have to distribute in production department, that is A, B and C. Chaliye, let us start. First of all, we will write items. Then basis of distribution. Items, then I will write total, then basis of distribution, items total basis of distribution, Department A, Department B, Department C. First of all, production department expense. Production department. Production department. Total expense of production department is 80,000. This is already distributed. 30,000. Then 26,000. And then 24,000. This was already distributed. After that, expenses is given of stores. Total expenses of stores. How much is total expenses of stores? 4,000. On what basis we are going to distribute it? On what basis we are going to distribute it? Horsepower, number of worker or value of store requisition. But the expense of store will be distributed on the basis of value of store's requisition. It will be distributed on the basis of store's requisition. What is the ratio of store's requisition? 25 is to 15 is to 10. 25 is to 15 is to 10. Is to 15 is to 10. 25, 15 and 10. Now let us distribute 4,000 in the ratio of 25 is to 15 into 10. So 4,000 divided by 50 divided by 50 into 25. 2,000, 1,200, 800. Now after scores, timekeeping. Timekeeping. Let us see what is the total expense of timekeeping. Total expense of timekeeping is 3,000. 3,000. Timekeeping expense will be distributed. Timekeeping expense will be distributed on the basis of number of workers. Timekeeping and accounts will be distributed on the basis of number of workers. Okay, number of workers. Number of workers. What is the ratio of number of workers? Ratio of number of workers is 20, 15, 15. 20, 15, 15. Ratio of number of workers is 20, 15 and 15. Let us distribute this. 3,000 divided by 50 into 20. 1,200. 900. 900. After timekeeping, which expense is given? Power. 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 Total expense of power is 1,600. Power will be distributed on the basis of horsepower of machine. Horsepower of machine. What is the ratio of power? Ratio of power is 3, 3 and 2. 3 is to 3 is to 2. So 1,600 divided by 8 into 3. 600, 600 and 400. after power canteen. Total expense of canteen is given 1000. Total expense of canteen is 1000. Canteen expense will be distributed on the basis of number of workers. Number of workers. Ratio of number of workers. Ratio of number of workers is 20, 15, 15. Now, 1000 divided by 50 into 20. 400. 300. 300. So we have distributed all the service department expenditure in production department. We have distributed the expense of stores, timekeeping, power and canteen in the production department. Okay. Now we'll make the total. Total expense was 80,000 plus 4,000 plus 3,000 plus 1,600 plus 1,000. It was 89,600. Now this expense is distributed in A department 30,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,200 plus 600 plus 400. That is 34,200. Total expense of department A. Now for department B, 26,000 plus 1,200 plus 900 plus 600 plus 300. 29,000. Total expense of department B, 29,000. Department C, 24,000 plus 800 plus 900 plus 400 plus 300. 26,400. The total expense of department C was 26,400. So, bachcho, this is how you are going to distribute the expenses. For production department, we have expenses are already distributed. So we have written 30,000, 26 and 24,000. Store department expenses is distributed on the basis of store requisition. 2,000, 1,200, 800. Then expense of timekeeping and accounts is distributed on the basis of number of workers. Then expenses of power is distributed on the basis of horsepower of machine. Expenses of canteen is distributed on the basis of number of workers. Then we have written total expenses of department A, B and C. Because the question has told you to distribute the expenses, distribute the cost of service department over the production department. So we have distributed all the four expenses of service department, that is stores, timekeeping and accounts, canteen and power, in the stores department, over the stores department. So total expenses of department A is 34,200, total expenses of department B is 29,000 and total expenses of department C is 26,400. Now, so this is your homework. You have to do this illustration in homework. Please either take a screenshot or take a photo. You all have to do this illustration in homework, and in next class I am going to discuss this illustration so that you can check your answer. Please either you can take a photo or you can take a screenshot and complete this homework. In next class I am going to discuss it so that you can check your answer. Okay. I hope you all have copied it. Okay. So thank you for joining. Please take care, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.